That's the comments right there. So I blurred out his username, even though he's brand new. It's a brand new account. He just created it. He just created his account just to wire me up, but that did not work out. Um, but I still blurred it out anyway, just for safety purposes. And he says, I think the Nintendo Switch 2 sales will skyrocket downwards after this, after people release how scummy their currently business practices are right now. Okay, first of all, this is written by a child or somebody who doesn't know English very well. Second of all, how will Switch 2 sales go downwards? I mean, he's lucky that I actually posted a reply in his comments, like trying to make a bet with him that's what, like, if it sells upwards, I will give me $50. If it sells down, will give me 50. Yeah, I will give him $50. Of course, he say he's broke. But who will want to make a bet with somebody online? You don't know the person. I don't know the person, and even if he won the bet and I won the bet, either way, no one will give each other's money because we are complete total stranger. We don't know each other, and so yeah. But at the end of the day, I was right. So I was right on my bet. You can keep your $50 if you like, but I was right on my bet that Nintendo Switch to sell will skyrocket upwards, or I think actually wrote the word itself, but I believe that Nintendo Switch 2 will speaks huge amount of sales. I was actually predicting like maybe I don't know, like a million. I was thinking a million units at the time. I was thinking a million units at the time. You sell a million units, and then you went and sell 3.5 million units. 3.5 million units. I was going like, I was thinking, let's have them sell like, I was making my expectation was kind of low. I was like, let's make sure it was low and safe. I was going to go like 5 million, but I was like, let's just try 1 million, because I want to keep it safe, keep it simple, not have my expectation too high. And because of the sales, 3.5 million, I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. So I decided to make a PowerPoint presentation on, let me see if I can pull this out here. And today's video is titled Nintendo Switch 2 Market Performance Analysis. Record-breaking launch and market domination. Yeah, you were not expecting a video like this, huh? So, yeah, as you can see in the back in the title above here, Nintendo Switch 2 not selling. So, real quick context, apart from the comments that I got that I just shared, there's been a lot of talk about or how Nintendo Switch 2 is not selling, or how third-party games is not selling, or how people are going to are returning their Switch 2 console. Yes, I actually saw that. I've seen post on Twitter that people are returning the Nintendo Switch 2 console, or they are maybe selling the console and they're not making sales online. I'm like, okay, first of all, the person who is not making sales online are the scalpers, because Nintendo is making sure that the scalpers aren't getting a penny out of selling their product. Second of all, again, Nintendo Switch 2 is selling, and it is selling tremendously. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So, yeah, as you can see here, I am doing a PowerPoint presentation. It's not going to take long, maybe probably like 8 to 10 minutes, but I'm going to explain to you why Nintendo Switch 2 is selling and why they're going to continue to sell over the next couple of months, all the way to March 2026, and my prediction of what's going to happen around that time. So, let's get right into this. Executive summary: Switch 2 success story. Only after like 4 days, just 4 days, just 4 days, the Switch 2 has sold 3.5 million units in just 4 days. I mean, can you believe that? Can you believe that? This is why people who don't like Nintendo are like coping and seething and trying to come up with other stories to craft and come up with, because they cannot believe that the Switch 2 has sold 3.5 million console in just 4 measly days. That's like selling one Switch 2 every single second for 4 straight days. Like you sell the Switch 2 every second, a Switch 2 every second. If that's not crazy, I don't know what that is. Like this officially makes the Switch 2 the fastest selling console ever. And honestly, it's making other consoles look bad. Makes them look like they are moving hella slow. Especially PlayStation, especially Microsoft, especially, I have to say it again, PlayStation. PlayStation, we get right into PlayStation because I have a PlayStation 5. Or you can see it behind me, but I do have a PlayStation 5 and I do play it a lot. But I'm I'm very disappointed with PlayStation, to be honest. So let's just put this into perspective because the numbers, as you can see, it's dominating. Regional dominance 1.1 million in the US, 1.1 up like about a million in Japan. The stock surge, let's talk about the stock. The stock has increased 6.19% and it's rallying up to $39 billion. So it is, as I said, outperforming the PS5 in the Xbox as the market leader in the gaming industry. As always, as usual, Nintendo is always leading the gaming industry markets. And we have a forecast here, a bullish forecast. Nintendo is predicting like 13, I believe it's 13 million units to sell by the end of this fiscal year. A bullish forecast will be like around 16 million units projected. So yeah, okay, so let's get into the next slide here. Okay, yeah, I went over that one already. So this is a record-breaking launch in history. This makes the Switch 2 the #1 console to have ever sold in the entire video game industry. Entire video game industry. That's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, next. Yeah, to give you an idea of just how astronomical this sales is, the original PlayStation 5, like the PlayStation 5, where is it here? Oh, it's not on the slides. It must be on the other slides. But um, the PlayStation 5, which everyone said had an amazing launch, it sold like 2.1 billion in 2 weeks. 2.1 million in 2 weeks. So, oh, actually, so in the US market alone, just 1 week. Well, it's not really 1 week because like June from June 5th to June 7th, that's like 2, 3 days. Um, 1.1 million units. 1.1 million units just after 2 days, and then 4 days later it went up to 3.5 million units. Don't you think that's crazy stuff? That's crazy stuff. What Nintendo is doing right now is like amazing. And it also really helps that they have decided to put frame rate and graphic into consideration, because most of the time Sony and Microsoft, they always put graphic and performance into consideration before thinking about games. And Nintendo always thinks about game before putting these two into consideration. But it's a great deal, it's a great boon for Nintendo to actually do this strategy that Sony and Microsoft have been adopting for years. With the Nintendo Switch, one of the most highest selling console on the market right now. So this actually set a brand new record for the, as I mentioned, as I've said it many times already, fastest selling console launch in US history. So yeah, Nintendo just came in and say, I own this shit. Excuse my French. So, and it's not just in the USA too. In Japan also, the House of Nintendo, um, it has sold over 1 million units in launch sales. By the second week, it got 153,000 Switch 2 sold. So in a total of just 2 weeks, 1.1 million Switch 2s have been sold in just 2 weeks. So yeah, Japan is showing some serious love for Nintendo by almost like right at launch 1 million units, and then by the end of the week, by week two, 53,000, and yeah, it's pretty good. That's like the entire population of a major city saying, yeah, we all need this device right now. Like everybody at Equima will have a Switch 2, and that's in Japan. Japan is where Nintendo is stationed. Yeah, let's get to the next slide. Oh, and by the way, it outsold the competition with PlayStation 5 at 9.6 and Xbox at 227 in the same period. So next slide. Let's talk about the stock market, the victory lap in the stock market. So the stock, Nintendo stock has always been like $13 or so or whatever. Um, but this time it has skyrocketed. So that will make Star Fox jealous. We're talking like 46% rally in 2025 that added, and I'm not kidding, $39 billion to Nintendo's value. That's billion with a B. That's enough money to buy approximately like 87 real life mushroom kingdoms. Um, yeah, so the stock jumps from $20 to $21 with a 6.9 increase, and yeah, the market cap rally is now 39 billion in 2025. So that definitely soars the confidence in investors like myself. I'm an investor of Nintendo. So it's crushing the competition now. Nintendo is crushing it. It's not just about, excuse me, it's not just about the graphic and performance, it's about the games too, And because why did it sell this much? You might be wondering, why did it sell this much? Because of the games. The Switch 2 has the best launch lineup. The best launch lineup, yes. Sure. Some of the third party games are old games from PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. But look at it this way. Street Fighter 6 people play it at home, right? But if they switch to, you can play Street Fighter 6 on the go. And most people who want to play Street Fighter 6 will be able to buy a Switch 2 and be able to play Street Fighter 6 on the go. You could buy the PlayStation Portal to play Street Fighter 6, but then there's the catch, here's the thing. When you buy a PS5 Portal and you play Street Fighter 6 on your PS5 Portal, you have to make sure that your PS5 is staying on all the time, consuming battery, well, not really battery, but it will cause your PS5 to heat up. It will rack up your electric bills. And what if there is a power outage? What if there is a power outage in your area? What if you are traveling to Germany with your PS5 Portal? Yeah, I'm talking to that person who wrote that article at the creator. You know who you are. What if you go to Germany and you have your PS5 Pro, you play Street Fighter 6, and then there's a power outage in your area? What then? Oh, and let's not forget the fact that the PS5 has a constant, I would say, the PS5 tends to go on a update, like an auto update. What if all of a sudden your PS5 updates behind you, and then you play your Street Fighter 6 or in Germany or whatever games you are playing in Germany, and then your PS5 decides to reboot for an update? What if there's a power outage? What then? You need your PS5 to stay on for you to connect to your PlayStation Portal. What if you accidentally turn off your PS5? Because you can turn off your PS5 with the PlayStation Portal. What if you accidentally turn off your PS5? You cannot turn it back on, can you? I mean, I don't own a PS5. Please enlighten me in the comment section. How does this work? Maybe there's been an update, I don't know, but how does this work? If they switch to, you don't have to worry about all of that stuff. It's hybrid. You can play it on the go. You can play it at home as a console. It's simple. The only difference between like playing Street Fighter 6 and Street Fighter 6 on PS5 is a small slight change in graphic. That's it. So so yeah, I just have to put that out there. But yeah, when you look at the comparison, this is how much it sold in just 4 days, but this is how much the PS5 sold in 2 weeks. 2.1 million. Yeah, and I think I'm going to put like a GIF to demonstrate just how shocking this is. Yeah, that's shocking. And in Japan, the week 2 in Japan, this is how much Switch 2 it sold. And it's how much PS5 and it's how much Series, Xbox Series. Yeah. So next slide. Okay, now here's my analysis. My analyst prediction as an analyst. The smart money people at DFC Intelligence, those people right here, DFC Intelligence, they are looking at the numbers and they're saying that hmm, we need to revise our prediction because they were predicting 15 million at the time, right? Now they're bumping that 15 million to 16 million for 2025. And some are even whispering that maybe we should push it up to 20 million. Like if Nintendo can keep up with the manufacturing pipe flowing. By manufacturing pipe flowing, I mean like the um, constant flow of software, the game software that are coming up. We know Donkey Kong Peninsula is coming up. That direct was amazing, by the way. I really loved it. It was really fun. Pauline, singer Pauline. I cannot wait till I get this music again on my phone. So excited. Anyway, but I digress. Um, Toyko Brothers is coming out. Kirby Air Riders is coming out also. And we also got two Switch 1 games coming up who will have the Switch 2 version, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Pokemon Legends ZA and um and Splatoon Raiders that was also announced and plenty of other games that haven't been announced yet. We still don't know what the games are. And some people who are saying that, oh, well, um, the third party is not selling on the Switch 2. This is bad. This is a joke. Nintendo does not need third party to sell. It needs its first party. Its first party is what is making money for Nintendo. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Splatoon. We just got announcements of Splatoon Raider and we got it direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza. And Mario Kart World is selling. Yeah, an $80 game is actually selling. Drop the price? Yeah, more like take my money. um, so yeah, Nintendo does not need third party to sell. It needs its first party. Why do you think the Wii U failed? Because it did not have enough first party at launch. That's why it failed. And by the time it was pushing up first party, it was too late. People lost interest. The Wii U was losing, um, was not making sales. That's why the Wii U was like flopping. But with the Switch, first party just upon first party, you do realize that every month Nintendo just push into the pipeline a first party title. Since 2017, uh, we never ran out of first party titles, and I see the Switch 2 gonna continue with the momentum. So yeah, yeah, I'm telling you, it's actually making people rethink the potential of pushing their um prediction to 20 million units to be sold by March 2026, if supply meets demand, of course. We also have to consider um, Donald Trump's tariffs situation, the trade war that he has going on with China and is trying to do with other Asian countries like Vietnam and Thailand or whatever. So there's that we have to consider that might affect price for the Switch 2, that might affect price of the accessories. It's already affected the price for the Switch 2 accessories. So yes, there's that to consider too. And we're only just in the summer. Yeah, just think about it. If Donald Trump doesn't think about Vietnam, he's only focusing on China. He's only thinking about China, but he's not thinking about Vietnam. That would be great for Nintendo. Nintendo will be continuing to sell the Switch 2. They'll be continuing to sell the Switch 2 without worrying about tariffs affecting the price. And we're only in December. The Switch 2 just came out like 2 weeks ago, and we're only in the summer. The summer just started. And don't forget about the holiday season. The holiday season, the games that are coming out this holiday, whoo! So yeah, that's why analysts are pushing up the prediction up to 20 million from 15 to 16, maybe 20 million. Nintendo only has one target: sell enough Switch 2 for 50 million units. So most analysts are thinking that Nintendo's own prediction of 50 million units is more conservative than, yeah, it's more conservative than Mario jumping style in the original Donkey Kong. You know how Mario jumps like boing, boing. It's very conservative. It's like, yeah, I don't think you get the joke. Don't you? Okay, I'll stop. Next slide. Alright, market insights and success factor. Mm, Strong brand loyalty. The Nintendo fan base power is very strong. As I said, First party is always selling. Everybody gets a Switch 2 for the first party alone. They don't need third party. So people are saying, oh, it's not selling third party. That means the Switch 2 is not selling third party. Again, the Switch, Nintendo does not need third party to sell its Switch 2. Hybrid model appear. Everybody love the um the hybrid model. Play at home or play on the go. That's why we have all the console, all the competitors um coming up with gaming PCs on handhelds, or the Xbox announcing the Xbox rogally, and PlayStation with the PlayStation Portal. They are following the trends. They are following the leader. That is Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo is a leader. If he was not a leader, people would be following or trying to copy the formula. Trust me. Supply chain is critical. It has to meet high demands. Software is king again. First party, it's a success. It's the money maker. And market innovation, unique selling proposition. Yeah. Okay, so we are wrapping up. Few more slides left. What is the future looking at like for Nintendo? Opportunities. Maintain launch momentum. We have to keep maintaining the momentum for Nintendo. It's not just about successful consoles, it's about Nintendo proving once again that innovation beats specification sheets, that fun trumps technical prowess, that sometimes the best way to win the future is to remember what made gaming magical in the first place, and that is the games. So we need to expand the global market share, strengthen the software pipeline, more first party games, more third party support. We need more of that stuff. The challenge, as I've mentioned, supply chain management, meeting high demands. Nintendo is doing well with the meeting the high demand parts, but a lot of people are lining up to just to get, that's what I heard, to get a receipt that will let them know when is the Nintendo Switch to stock is going to be, so that they can pick one up. Yeah, and the response, the competitive response. PlayStation came out recently talking about how they're going to have their game being appealing to some of the audience, like the females who are interested in Horizon or anime and things like that. And I'm like, I'm listening, I'm reading through that article, and I'm like, what? You you guys need to focus on your first party. You guys need to stop canceling your games. You guys need to make sure that you don't give us live services, because that's not what people want. People want the classic. People want um I want Uncharted. I'm tired of Horizon and God of War. I want my Uncharted back. But anyway, so yeah, um, yeah. So the key takeaway: Nintendo is exceeding all expectation. Global market domination in all regions. Strong investor confidence and stock performances. And of course, the hybrid model is continuing to resonate to many people, many people. And the analyst outlook is saying rapid growth in in the company and on the markets as well. So that's pretty much the big picture here. And yeah, there you have it. The Nintendo Switch 2 didn't just launch, it absolutely conquered the market with forces of over a thousand heartless from Kingdom Hearts 2. You guys who play Kingdom Hearts 2, you know what I mean. So from like 3.5 million units in just 4 days to dominating every major markets, from making investors richer, um, then Princess Peach and Princess Daisy buying Bowser's Castle. that Switch 2, it has officially made the little console that I did. Even though it's not really little, it's like it's pretty big. Let me see if I can pull out my Switch 2 because that console is so big. Uh, okay, I can find it, so I'll find or look for it later. But that console is so big. I actually took a picture of my um Switch 2, compared it with my other Switches. I'll post the image right there on my screen for you to see. And yeah, it is that big. It's like Big Brother. So anyway, I'm done with my little PowerPoints here. Um, yeah, thanks for watching. If you wanna hit the four buttons that you see on my screen, make sure you hit a like, would be nice. B, sure to comment. X, especially share, and why subscribe, because I make prediction videos. With that being said, I hope you enjoy your Sunday afternoon. And yeah, until next time, I'm going to go and look for my Switch 2 and I'm going to play some games. Bye.